Alright, so we have a Samsung 40-inch TV. It is not turning on, so I've got it disassembled and see nothing's happening. I don't know if you can see that, but when I hit the power button, the backlight turns on for a second and then it shuts off. So, this is your power board, main board, T-con board. So if I pull out the connection between the main board and the power supply, and then give it power again, see if the backlight turns on. So that means part of the power supply is actually working well. So now we gotta do some measurements and check the voltages and see what's going on with the main board or potentially that one there. So I found if I hold the power button long enough, it turns on. I was probing around here when I touched those capacitors with my probe, it turned on. That's the 5 volt. Looks like that's the 5 volt power supply. I did capacitor checks, diode mode checks on the power board, and that all seems okay. There's just this resistor here that looks a bit dark. And I'm wondering if that might be out of spec. Visually, there's nothing else really wrong here. The big capacitor, 100 microfarads. That measured okay in my meter. All these other ones, I don't see the spec, but they don't fail any of the fault tests. I'm gonna go look up those numbers in a bit, but I'm gonna have a look at what this RS804 is all about and see if that might be our problem. So I was probing around and found this capacitor seems to have a short. It's connected to this Zener diode here. So yeah, we'll see what, try to remove that and see if it's just the cap or something else, but that's all I could find. And this is the back of the power board. Alright, so these are the MOSFETs from that TV, where the components are replaced. So this is the MOSFET near the 5 volt source, and when I was doing a diode mode test, I noticed it was basically shorted between the drain and gate. So a normal working MOSFET, you'd expect a 0.6 volt drop one way, and 0 volts and open circuit the other way. So this one's a dead short. So that one is dead, and that was replaced. The other one that the other ones that were interesting were these capacitors. So I removed 4 of the capacitors. They test mostly okay except for one of them. So that one was okay. This one is the bad one, and for some reason it goes through this tester and identifies as a diode, and that's incorrect behavior, of course, for a capacitor. Yeah, so if I pull these other ones here and do more testing, you know, they're functional, they're within spec, but one of them was definitely bad. So I think that was the problem on the power board. Yeah, those are the components that got replaced. I had these capacitors in stock. That's pretty common N-channel MOSFET, which I was able to find locally. Yeah, I replaced those, and that resolved the issue. Okay, here we are. So I changed out 1, 2, 3, 4 capacitors. I changed a MOSFET on the back that didn't look like it was behaving right. Initially, yesterday, the problem presented when I plugged in the Wi-Fi. So far, at least, to give it more of a test, but it's powering up with the Wi-Fi connected and everything. So yeah, you can hear it making noise. Yeah, the glow of the backlight. So yeah, I'm gonna put the case back on and see if it's stable. Let it run overnight for a couple days and go from there. It's about 2 hours in running my test pattern, and outside of a couple dead parts of the LED strips, it looks pretty good. Let's see if it turns off and on. It's off. On. Yep, working well. Let this run probably overnight, see what happens.